The wild heart of the bear, a life of power, patience, and quiet instinct. Most people think they know bears. They picture a heavy creature trudging through a forest, a shaggy silhouette that seems too bulky to be graceful and too solitary to be emotional. But that's only because we tend to judge animals by the brief moments we catch them in. A documentary clip, a campsite encounter, a grainy trail camera shot. A bear's true nature lives in the quieter spaces, the ones we rarely notice unless we learn to slow down. I once met a ranger in Alaska who told me, "You don't understand a bear until you understand what it chooses not to do." It sounded cryptic at first, but the longer I spent in bear country, the more it made sense. A bear's power isn't in its roar or size, though either one could rearrange your priorities instantly. Its real strength is the restraint behind every step, every decision, every moment it decides the world doesn't need to fear it today. Watch a bear waking at dawn before the forest has warmed up. It rises the way an old story unfolds, slowly, deliberately, as if remembering itself. It tests the air with its nose, gathering a symphony of scents most humans never learn to recognize. A berry patch half a mile away, a salmon run downstream, the faint musk of another bear that passed hours earlier. Their noses are so sensitive, they can detect food from over a dozen miles away. Imagine walking into a grocery store and knowing instantly which aisle someone opened a jar of honey in. Here's a fact that surprises almost everyone. Bears communicate more through posture and expression than sound. Their ears, their shoulders, even the subtle shift of their weight tell a whole story. A bluff charge, for example, is often just a warning, a frustrated gesture that says, "Give me space. I don't actually want this to escalate." If humans mastered bluff charges instead of arguments, we might all sleep better. But what fascinates me most is the emotional intelligence bears carry quietly. Scientists have documented behaviors that look almost like grief. A mother returning repeatedly to a cub she lost, or a solitary bear lingering near the site of an old den long after abandoning it. No dramatic displays, no theatrics. Just a stillness that feels heavy in a way words don't quite capture. One fall morning, I watched a massive grizzly stand in a river, not fishing, not hunting, just letting the current push against its legs. It looked like meditation, the kind people pay good money to experience in mountain retreats. The bear seemed to be listening, not with its ears, but with its entire body. And maybe that's the real secret to its survival. Bears don't move through the world assuming they dominate it. They move through it as if they're in conversation with every rock, every scent, every shift in the wind. Their biology only deepens the mystery. Take hibernation, for instance. Most folks think bears sleep for months, but that's oversimplified. They enter a state where their heart rate drops dramatically, sometimes to as low as 8 beats per minute. Yet they remain aware enough to respond to danger. They don't eat, drink, or even urinate during that time. Their bodies recycle waste into proteins. If humans tried that, we'd end up in medical textbooks under disastrous experiments. And then there's their memory. Bears remember food sources years later. They recall which berry bushes ripen early, which river bends hosted salmon, which fallen logs hid insects in lean seasons. A researcher once tracked a bear who walked 20 miles out of its way to revisit a single bush it had fed from 2 summers before. Some people don't remember where they parked yesterday, but perhaps the most humbling part of understanding bears is recognizing how rarely they choose conflict. They could overpower almost anything in the forest, yet most of the time they simply don't bother. Peace for a bear isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. And maybe that's why the idea of a wild heart fits them so well. Their wildness isn't chaos, it's honesty. A bear reacts to the world exactly as it feels it. Hungry, cautious, curious, tired, without apology and without pretending to be something else. There's something strangely refreshing about that. No posturing, no overthinking, just presence. The longer you watch bears, the more you realize they aren't symbols of brutality. They're symbols of self-possession. They know their strength, but they don't need to announce it. They trust their instincts without drama. They navigate forests the way seasoned travelers navigate crowded airports, with awareness, patience, and just enough confidence to part the crowd when necessary. Maybe that's the real lesson a bear offers. Power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just breathes slowly, listens deeply, and moves forward when the moment finally feels right.